I want to walk you through my detailed change impact assessment template. This is something that you can purchase from my website if you like the look of it. So first of all, I'm going to start by saying it's not this template that I use for every type of change. It depends on the culture of the organization and if the team that I'm working with find spreadsheets accessible. For some people, spreadsheets are a massive turnoff and they just want the output. So I might use this behind the scenes, but present back to them in a presentation format. It also depends on the type of change that's happening. This type of detailed change impact assessment lends itself to processes that have certain steps or phases. It's even better if you have process maps and you're able to plug the process steps into the change impact assessment. It also depends how much time you've got. So sometimes you're pulled into a change very last minute and everything needs to be done within the month, which in that case, you don't want to spend your whole month faffing around with paperwork. So you just have to have a read on what your approach is. But this is the most comprehensive way of documenting change impact assessment findings. So first of all, there's the cover page, which has, let me just move myself, which has a bit of an explanation about the template. If this is something that I'm going to complete with a team in a workshop setting, I'll make sure I send this to them so that they understand what we're going to be working through. Then there's a bit of an explanation around the different change impact categories. So you've got people, which is behavior, ways of working, capability, organization. You've got processes, self-explanatory. Data, are we going to be sharing and processing data in new ways? You've got systems on here as well. And there's a couple of other ones. What you also have is a scale, and there's an explanation of what the scale means. So if we're giving something a low rating, it's less than 30% impact. If it's a medium rating, you're looking at 30 to 50% impact. And then high rating is more than 50% impact. So that percentage can be worked out depending on number of people, depending on number of processes. You just need to make it clear what that percentage relates to. Then there's a number of columns within the change impact assessment. So there's a sheet that gives you an explanation of what each of the columns are. But if I just jump over to the actual assessment, so this is the form where you would plug in the information. You'll have your program and your work stream name. Then you've got your level of process. So if you have a process map, you'll be able to say if it's a level 1, 2, or 3 process map. For those of you that don't know what that means, level 1 is the highest level, so the least amount of detail. Level 3, you're getting into more detail. You'll describe what the current state is, so how things are currently done. Future state, how they'll be done in the future. Impact description, so what's the difference between the two? What's the journey they have to go on? You'll give your impact rating. And I've simplified this. Some people have an impact rating per item, so people, process, systems, and so on. You've got timing of impact, so is it at the time of go live or post, etc. You also have if there's any dependencies to any other projects or deliverables, the teams that are impacted by the change, the roles within the teams that are impacted, you'll list. You'll also have your location and number of people impacted and any overall comments that you have. And finally, the change action. So what are you going to do because of this impact? Does it need extended communications? Does it need training or walkthrough? You put it on there. And then finally, your change impact assessment status. So has this been reviewed? Do we need further analysis? And so on. Hope you find that helpful.